All right, so the last few examples that you've done, the last 6 examples, had to use the what's called the recursive formula, where we found a term and then we use it again to find the next term, and we use it again to find the next term. We keep repeating, recursive repeating. Keep repeating the process in order to go from one term to the next. When you use the explicit formula, you don't have to do that. You can literally just use it for whatever term you need to use it for. One of the positives on that is if you make a mistake on one term, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll make a mistake on your other terms. Where if you use the recursive, if you make a mistake on term 2, it messes up term 3, it messes up term 4, and so on. So I tend to like they all have their purposes. For instance, if I have one term, the first term, and I just have to give you the next term, I'm going to use the recursive. If I am working on the first term and got to go to the 900th term, I'm definitely not going to do the recursive. I'll use the explicit. Explicit means I'm using explicitly for finding that term that I want. And that's what we're going to practice now. Okay, so hopefully by this time you've figured out how to substitute things in, like a sub n, and when I want the 9th term, I know that I'm looking for a9 if I'm a sub 9. And I say sub 9 because it gets a little bit lower if you haven't figured that out yet. So I'm going to use this for generating terms. So again, I am really looking for the first 5 terms. So I'm really looking for a1, a2, dot to a5. That's what I'm doing. So all I have to do using this formula is plug in everywhere I see n, I'm plugging in my term number. So a1 is just going to be 7 times 1 minus 3. So notice that this matches my n. So it tells you exactly where to put the n, the number you're working on. So this is just going to be 7 times, what's that, negative 2? So that's negative 14. So my first term is negative 14. Now I want a2. I'm just going to do 7 times, let me just put in a little bit of color because I'm kind of getting bored here. 2 minus 3. Okay, so that's going to give me, do order of operations, that's negative 1 times 7, negative 7. Okay, now I'm going to do a sub 3. 3 is 7 times the 3 minus 3. Okay, this one looks like it's going to give me 0 times 7, which is nothing. Okay, and a sub 4 is going to be 7 times 4 minus 3. I wish I was quicker at this. And that's going to be 7 times 1, which is 7. And then last one, a5. I'm just going to do 7 times 5 minus 3 equals, this is 2 times 7, this is going to be 14. So my numbers are negative 14, negative 7, 0, 7, 14. That's the way I want to see my answers when you're done. So here's the math. If you also notice, it's dropping by 7, looks like, each time. Okay, we're done.